Hi everyone. I have 13 minutes and 19 seconds to talk today because my food is reheating. I wanted to talk to you today about hope. I know that sounds cliche and kitschy, but I have been in a very dark place, probably going around like 2 months now. I had been on the Lupron for 26 months, and a large part of why I asked to get off the Lupron was because it was making me aggressive and short, and I would get in these really, really dark places. But the dark places I was getting in, it was very cyclical, and timing of like the week and a half before my Lupron is when I would notice that I would have these changes. And then I'd have the Lupron injection and things would be fine, and then it would start all over again, and that was my life for 26 months. And I stopped the Lupron back in November. And it's interesting because if you look back at the vlogs back in November, granted I took a while to post them. One I just posted recently, so what are we at now? February? Almost Valentine's Day. And it's frustrating because I thought getting off the Lupron, I would just have this magic button be pressed and I wouldn't be aggressive anymore, which I'm not, but I also wouldn't be in those dark places anymore either, which I have been. So I kind of hit a wall this week where, I'm seeing the oncology psychologist still, and everything I'm feeling is normal, and this is normal, and that's normal. But just because it's normal doesn't mean that it makes you feel good. And I'm at a place where I don't really feel a lot of joy. I don't feel happy. The things that used to make me smile and laugh, even if I'm physically smiling or laughing, I'm not feeling anything on the inside. And that's just a really sucky way to be. So the reason why I came on today was because I signed up for, I'm a math person. If you've been following these vlogs, I'm not an artsy person at all. But I went to a paint night at a store that's nearby to me with a friend of mine. There was 3 women there total, and then the teacher. And I have to laugh because it's not easy for me to do artwork because I'm a mathematical person. Oh, look at my lighting change. I get very tough on myself as to what things are supposed to look like. And the picture that we were painting was an Eiffel Tower. And my Eiffel Tower kind of looks like the Eiffel Tower met the Leaning Tower of Pisa because it's a little like, but whatever. The point of what I want to talk about today is just finding help, pushing yourself in the way of doing things that bring you joy, even if you actually don't feel that joy when you're doing it. That probably will only make sense if you're actually going through this to understand what I mean. Like over the summer, I would go kayaking because I know Jen likes to kayak. So if I kayak, then Jen should be happy. But that didn't always happen. I would go on Wii Fit and hit Mii's with tennis ball or snowballs. And normally that would make me smile and laugh. And I do those things, but I'm not smiling or laughing. And I just didn't like being stuck in that space. I tried my talk show again and being in front of the camera, and between the weight and other stuff, I just was not comfortable with seeing myself on camera. It's different when you're on a phone because I don't know if the camera, if this adds 20 pounds, but when you're in a studio and the lights are on you and they're not hitting you in the most flattering positions and the camera's whatever, I did not like the way that I looked. And I'm like, well, maybe my days of being a talk show host are just done. And maybe they are, I don't know. But after binge watching almost up to the 6th season now of This Is Us, which I've seen before, and I'm like, I need to not, just be in this rut of sitting on the frickin', like going to work, coming home, sitting on the couch, watching TV, waking up, going to work, coming home, sitting on the couch, watching TV. Like that's not, that doesn't bring me joy. And it started to make me worried. And so I went on Facebook, and I saw, I guess one good thing about Facebook is that like a lot of events and stuff are on there. And I saw this paint night thing, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. And it was called like a Galentine's thing, because Valentine's Day is coming up. And I'm like, well, now I have to like see who's going to go with me. And a lot of my friends like have kind of disappeared, and I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, I'm just going to ask who I want to go with. And if she can't go, she can't go, and I'll just go on my own. And if everyone's all in groups and it's just me, then like, whatever, I'll just deal with it. Like, I have to be more okay with doing things by myself. I used to be fine. I mean, after I got divorced, it was hard doing stuff by myself. But over time, I actually like got into a groove of that, and it was like exploring time, and it was fun. I liked meeting new people, and then the pandemic happened, which obviously changed things. So, so the friend, I asked if she can go, and she did, and we went and we painted. Hers looked gorgeous. And then we're making small talk, and it turned out that the other woman that was there was a breast cancer survivor. That was not intended to be like the theme of the evening, although there is a lot of pink in my painting, which I will show you, but you'll have to hold on for that. So we just start talking about breast cancer-y things, and I'm like, I actually really wasn't that annoyed as what my face probably just started making a reaction to. I felt like I fit in and belonged there because she was a breast cancer survivor. And it took me a very long time to even want to associate myself with other breast cancer survivors. I did not want to be part of the pink ribbon club. I didn't want to wear the pink tutus and do all the stuff. I didn't want to be part of that. And now it's about 2.5 years after diagnosis and stuff, and surgeries and all that stuff. And now it's like, I don't know what I would do without having those people around me, because they understand. And I was on, I have a Zoom every other week with a group of breast cancer survivors that I met through an online support group class thing that was recommended by my oncologist. And we meet on Zoom every 2 weeks to just touch base and stuff. And 2 weeks ago, I canceled because I'm like, I'm just not in a good place, and I don't want to be around breast cancer people, and I just don't want to like be around anybody. And that's so not me. So I didn't go. And even though I felt down, I'm like, I'm not going to cancel again. I'm going to go on. And I told them, I texted, like, I really wanted to be on, but I'm just not in a good place right now. And I don't even really want to talk about it. And when I talk about it to like the doctors and stuff, they're all like, this is normal, this is normal. But it doesn't make me feel better. I could get a good one-liner or two, but that's not enough right now to get me in a place to attempt to find happy or joy. So the people that were in my group were kind of pushing me to connect with oncology and tell them how I'm feeling and ask for help. I'm not a med person, but maybe it's time to try a med or something, because I don't like the place that I'm in. And it makes me mad because I thought getting off the Lupron would make life easier, and it has in many ways, but I didn't anticipate like the Lupron puts you in a chemical menopause, and now that I'm not on the Lupron, I feel like I'm in regular menopause. I haven't gotten my period since I've been off the Lupron, and now I get to go through menopause a second time, now naturally instead of chemically, and oh, the joy or lack of that comes with that. But what I want to come on here to tell you, because I really haven't shared on these vlogs about how dark I've been, because I don't want to seem less or weak or whatever. You know, I got to put on the game face, which is funny as I say that because you guys have seen me with not my game face on. But when I'm like really, really sad, like I haven't been vlogging that. And I am like 2 months behind on posting vlogs because I haven't been wanting to be part of it. But I continue to try to find things that I know make me happy, even though I don't feel happy. Last weekend, I went to Salem, Massachusetts, and I went. I bought some things that were lost in the flooding from my apartment, and I'm glad I bought them. Like, they didn't bring me joy internally, but you know, I did that, and I have them, and the paint night. So here's my painting. Here's my, actually looks not so bad when I hold it up here. This isn't my paint night. Of course it's pink, which is not part of the plan. I've never been to Paris. I've never been to France. I've been to Germany, but I've never been to France before. I've always wanted to go to Paris. My Eiffel Tower is a little lopsided, but like, whatever. And of course my little bushes are all pink, but I kind of like how the pink down here of the sunset builds into my blue. But look at those dark and stormy clouds. I did not intend on making dark and stormy clouds. And this is even what I mean about the joy. Like, I'm laughing as I'm saying this, but the feeling that you normally have when you laugh, I don't feel it on the inside. I don't even know how better to explain that. But like, you can see that on the outside, like I am laughing, therefore I am joyful, but I don't feel the feels that that usually kick in when you're happy and joyful. It's all hormones, chemicals, all of that, I assume. Anyway, so here's my dark and stormy sky, which I did not mean to do, but just ended up being that way. But then how I look at it is that, like, you know, my pretty Eiffel Tower, my pretty pink trees, and my bright glowing sun are trying to block out the dark and storminess that's around this. But all things considered, it's not too shabby. And I met this woman today there who, like I said, she's a breast cancer survivor, and she was talking about stuff, and she mentioned the healing garden. And way back in the beginning, someone had told me, I have 30 seconds left, I'm gonna have to get up, but someone told me about the healing garden. I'm pretty sure it was the oncology psychologist. And I remember having a Post-it note that said, reach out to the healing garden, and I never did. It's in Harvard. There's probably other things like it, but I need the support. I really, really need the support right now. And the woman was 10 years out from her cancer diagnosis. And when I told her I was 2.5 years out, she referred to me as oh, hold on. I need to, not to burn. So here, look at my pretty bookshelf for a second. Hold on. I don't want my food to burn. Okay. Yeah, she called me like a breast cancer, not baby, I can't remember what she called me. And because I'm so like, in comparison to where she is and the grandioso journey of breast cancer, like I still am a newbie pretty much at this. Whereas I feel like people that are outside of the direct impact of cancer think that, well, when the surgery is done, you're fine. You know, when the treatments are done, you're fine. The Luprons are done, so you're fine. You know, your surgery was done, so you're fine. There was no lymph node involvement, so you're fine. Like, all these things happen, so you're just great and dandy. And that's not where I am. Am I grateful I'm here? Like, yes. There's some days still where I wonder, like, why am I here? Not in the greater thing of, like, why am I on this planet? It's not that. I actually know more of that than, like, you know, what is my immediate purpose for being here? Right now, weirdly, I feel like it's sharing this shit with you people. because I don't want anyone else to feel like this. And it sucks to feel that, like, it sucks to not feel happy when you try so hard to feel happy. And it's all part of the fucking ride. And I have to have more patience with all of this stuff. I've been, at the gym and doing too much. And I told the trainer, I'm like, I'm doing too much. I'm nauseous after. I have headaches. I'm just pushing myself too much because I want to look like her. I want to look like her with her boobs here and her stomach here, and she can do pull-ups and all these things that I can't do. Granted, I probably couldn't do a pull-up even before this happened, but that's not the point. It's very hard to be glass half full at this stage of where I am right now in this process. But you have to put things in your path to potentially give you some hope. Because while I might not feel on the inside that big, like, dopamine rush of happy, like, I am happy with how my painting came out. And it will take time for me to feel happy on the inside and the outside. One of the things I did too, because I miss being in front of the camera, and it's a lot of work to be behind the camera, so I don't miss that. But there's a bunch of kids that are doing a short film for Bedford TV, and they needed someone to play the mom. And I'm like, I can play the mom. I'm a mom. I've never acted before. Like, I've been in front of the camera a lot. Aside from these vlogs, I've been in front of the camera. I was a news or an anchor, a co-anchor for many, many, many years. So I read off a teleprompter with pizzazz really well. And when I do my own show, like, I'm the one who's leading it, so I know what I basically want to say. I can put little cue cards up if I want to. You can't really do that when you're acting in a film. You gotta memorize your lines. And what you guys saw, that the Halloween, the haunted house, when I had the wacky makeup on and stuff, I kept forgetting my lines and I was putting them on my hand. I'm like, I can't do that for this, but I really wanted to do it. And I'm in 2 scenes, and we filmed one of them today. And the first time I had to do a video for work about how to do a talk show, and poor our production coordinator, I did take after take after take because I kept, like, flubbing stuff or I would laugh or whatever. I mean, we must have taken literally like 40 times for me to get the stupid thing right. And then they had to edit it together. That shuts stuff automatically. But this was different. So I memorized the lines. I used my voice memo app on my phone and started by reading the entire thing out loud and reading along with it from what I would remember. And then I did it again, but I only did the other person's part. And then as I went throughout the day, I just kept, like, saying the lines to nobody, like, in the car or wherever I was. And we did the scene. And what did we take? 3 takes, I think. And then it was done. And I actually remembered a great angle shot from a class that I've taken there that I thought would have helped with the scene, and they filmed. So, something new. Am I thinking it's going to lead to something? Who the heck knows? But, like, I'm proud of myself for doing it. I felt comfortable doing it. I felt like I was in shoes that belonged to me doing it. And then this art thing, like, not my forte. I'm not getting to Paris tomorrow, but I had a picture of the Eiffel Tower in my bedroom before the flooding. And I'm also hitting a year a few days ago was the year anniversary of my apartment flooding, so that's triggering also. But I had a picture on my wall that had the Eiffel Tower on it, and I don't know where it is, probably got thrown out, but I just painted another one to make up for it. And then I met this woman. I have her card, so I'm going to reach out to her. And I very much feel like people and things and events fall into your lap at the right time when they're meant to be there. And I was meant to be at this paint night thing to have a pretty picture to go home with and try to not focus on the dark storminess of up here. Instead, try to focus on the happy cheery that's happening down here. But then meeting this other woman who also actually had walked in runway and mentioned the healing garden to me, which I totally forgot, like fell off my radar, to find help and to find support. And I think when I wrote the post-it note for the healing garden, I didn't really want the help and support in that way. Like I wanted it from people that were in my circle. I didn't want it from, you know, these pink power people. And even though I don't want to be defined by breast cancer, I'm finding that right now in this journey, I really need those pink power people. So if you're watching this and you're in like a funk right now, you know, ask for help. Reach out, do things that, you know, get you out of the house. Don't push yourself too hard. But know that it takes time, and there's options out there. Like, you might not get to the same person that you were before, but, you know, explore other things that there are to do, other people that there are to be around. The woman I went out with today, I don't think I've ever hung out with her like at nighttime before, you know, like for like a mom play date or something, you know. Life just looks different, and just know there's hope in that. I was also painting kindness rocks. I dropped off a whole bunch at a kindness rocks garden in Bedford. Painting kindness rocks is very therapeutic for me. I write things on the rocks that I would want people to tell me, and then I just drop them places. And it's funny because I go back to the kindness rocks gardens where I drop them off and like they're all gone. Like people take them because they need help too. So I just want you to remind or to be reminded that you're not alone, and that there is help, and just hold on to that hope that the really shitty place that you may be in right now won't always be there. There are ways to get out of it. You have to find what works for you, whether that's professionally, whether that's medication, whether it's painting, whatever it is. Just have hope that things are going to get better, because they are. And the toaster oven just shut off, so I'm going to go eat my food. All right, everyone. Till next time. Love yourself, huh?